Following the surprise announcement from Ryan Reynolds in 2023, a relentless marketing campaign, and the speculation of who, what, or maybe could be making an appearance, Deadpool and Wolverine is finally here, and these questions can be answered. Does it live up to the hype? Will it save the MCU? And is Ryan Reynolds truly Marvel Jesus? Deadpool and Wolverine is directed by Shawn Levy and stars Ryan Reynolds as the Merc with the Mouth and Hugh Jackman reprising his role once again as Wolverine. Last seen, which we all thought would be his final outing as Logan in 2017. Yeah, I know, I'm late to the party. I would be late for my own funeral though if the Grim Reaper would allow it. Or so everyone keeps telling me. But in the interest of fairness for those who've yet to see it, I'm just going to concentrate on what Marvel Studios has put out there already with the trailers, and hopefully with a little bit of fingers crossed, try to have a cohesive review. For my first ever, I certainly haven't made it easy on myself. So the story kicks off with Wade Wilson, whose life has took a bit of a freefall from when we last saw him in 2018. Giving up the hero lifestyle and trading in his iconic onesie for a Hawaiian shirt and a green raincoat. Gone is the slicing and dicing of bad guys and hello wheeling and dealing at a used car dealership? Not exactly the thrilling life of a former mercenary, unless you decide to skip on the warranty. Regardless, he does what he needs to do and seems to be content in what life brings within his familiar circle of friends. That's until the TVA come knocking on his door and drag him in front of MacFadyen's Paradox, who explains that due to Wolverine's passing at the end of Logan, Wade's universe is slowly dying, soon to be expunged from existence altogether. An event-level extension occurring naturally though doesn't exactly fit in with the TVA's time frame, and they plan to speed up the process that would threaten even Thanos' ego. Paradox offers Wade the opportunity to once again be Deadpool and jump ship to the sacred timeline at the expense of everyone he loves and cares about to face the inevitable. But asking Wade to do this, however, is the equivalent of telling a toddler that walls are not drawn paper, and he decides to go against the offer in the nicest way Deadpool can express, to hunt down another Wolverine to replace the one who was lost. I'm not sure if that would work. Is it like Indiana Jones? Knowing what lies ahead for those back home, if he even remotely fails. As often is the case with a quick fix, it may sound good in theory, but putting it into practice are completely different, as his plan falls apart in spectacular fashion, leaving the two characters getting banished to the void for their troubles, which is essentially the toilet bowl at the end of time and space. It is here that the duo will need to work together to survive this hellhole, coming against old familiar faces and some unexpected new ones in the process, so they can make it back to stop Paradox's nefarious scheme. But this is Deadpool and Wolverine we are talking about, and if you're familiar with what transpires within their comic book setting, asking them to coexist together, you would have more luck making a crocodile vegetarian. It may be the same old Deadpool, but this is a very different Wolverine. There were concerns or fears that Disney's influence may have reined in Ryan Reynolds now that he's moved into the spare room at the MCU hotel. Rest assured, you can safely put those to bed. Straight from the start, those doubts will subside very quickly as an extremely inventive intro manages to pass the first movie, against a song that is currently causing a tsunami of copycats online. The movie's biggest strength lies in its humour, with nothing off limits as the characters trade barbs at each other and the supporting cast. Imagine everything you've heard from the previous movies and dial it up to 11. They make crude remarks about said studio failures, skewering cancel culture, and even poking fun at actors' private lives. It's a testament of the insane chemistry between Reynolds and Jackman. They are more than willing to venture into areas that others might find uncomfortable. They are way too comfortable. There are a few jokes that do miss the mark, and I'm wondering if the writer's strike was to blame or simply bad timing. Reynolds was forbidden from improvising dialogue, so it's anyone's guess what could have been improved upon had that not been the case. There are some genuine heartfelt moments from Wolverine as he struggles to deal with his past while drowning in his own self-hatred. Jackman hasn't missed a beat either. He has his character so nailed down it is getting more and more difficult to let him go. There are times you can feel the visceral rage building up within him, that you near expect him to tear up the screen at any given moment. And his word use, my god, they are as sharp as his claws at times. The action set pieces are gloriously over the top blood-soaked spectacles that will leave you wanting more. Some scenes can be more gratuitous than others compared to the previous installments, and are mainly played for laughs than to shock or horrify. They really teetered on that BBFC tightrope though, somehow managing or by nothing short of a miracle, avoid hitting the 18 rating here in the UK. It's the story. Where to begin? It felt mismatched against everything else and is easily the weakest within the trilogy. There's a lot of exposition to cover, which I'm guessing was for the benefit of those who are unfamiliar with what transpired in the brilliant Loki series, or what the hell is going on in general. Even with that, the plot does rely on a series of good fortune to get from one scene to the next as quick as possible, and sometimes the characters are just wading through scenes aimlessly until something convenient comes along. The stakes are pretty slim pickings too. Apart from Deadpool stating time and time again how important his family are to him, we never really see how the story affects them. Going back to Loki, we saw worlds turning inside out as they face extinction, and I'm at a loss why that wasn't properly utilised here. There is a part of me that is hoping a lot of scenes ended up on the cutting room floor, and hopefully one day we may see them used for a home release. You know what makes sense, Shawn. The dreaded questionable CGI also raises its ugly head. In one scene in particular I won't go into, but let's put it this way. It wouldn't look out of place in a character select screen for a fighting game. In typical Marvel style, the villains, although one of the better attempts of late, still felt slightly underdeveloped, with one in particular barely scratching the surface enough to convey a real sense of threat. Which is a shame, as with what we saw on the screen compared to the comic books, it's still a missed opportunity. So if you're looking for a Thanos or high evolutionary level of menace, you won't find it here. Will we ever do so again? Robert, please, for the love of God, don't fuck us up. Levi was true to his word about the surprises, and there are plenty. You're not shoehorned in just for the sake of it either, such as Brad Pitt's cameo or Beast quickly closing the door in Deadpool 2. They have a real impact on the story, with a lot of redeeming arcs that will either make you smile or cry. It really depends on your attachment to them. A lot of love and attention went into these appearances, and it really pops on screen. The respect is real, and let's face it, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are right now with the franchise. It's the same with the numerous Easter eggs and references scattered throughout the movie, and trust me, it's like a treasure trove. I spotted quite a few, one or two I'm not entirely sure about, but you won't catch them all in one sitting, that's for sure. You'll more than likely find yourself searching Google for clues long after leaving the theatre. So, did it save the MCU? It depends on who you ask. It does correct a lot of the wrongs Marvel has made in recent years with the likes of The Marvels and Secret Invasion. Personally though, I don't believe the franchise needs saving. Just a slight course correction before it slams into an iceberg altogether. The multiverse angle has always been a trying experience for anyone who has attempted it, and the more it's went on, it's becoming more and more convoluted for its own good. They brought real complex characters that didn't resonate that well, or characters that didn't really fit to what the story they wanted to tell. And I can understand why people were getting frustrated. Deadpool and Wolverine felt like a celebration of these two characters. Wolverine for a lot of people was a childhood hero, with Reynolds lurking in the background just patiently waiting for his moment to come, and he tried his damnedest to break into the genre. It's now 10 years since the leaked test footage graced our screens of Reynolds cosplaying the anti-hero, only for it to become a viral sensation which ultimately led to the first movie. And who better to celebrate it with than with Jackman, causing carnage and mayhem along the way. Regardless of how I feel about the story, against the spectacle itself, it's minor. Levi, Jackman and Reynolds knew exactly what they wanted to achieve with this movie, and they did it so damn well. I truly enjoyed what unfolded, and a lot of the memorable moments in this movie will live long in the memory. That alone just sets it apart from everything else you've seen in the MCU. With the upcoming Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts, this movie has reinvigorated the belief in Marvel Studios and has kickstarted something I haven't felt in a very long time: the excitement of what's to come next. But have you seen it yet? What are your thoughts? Drop them down in the comments, without spoilers of course. Leave a little like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe for more reviews coming soon. Thank you for watching, and stay excellent day.